Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. What up, what up, what up, what up, though, Mr. Davis? With a late night show. So this has been on my mind for quite some time now, and I really want to talk about this because being a black man, growing up in a black community, I've noticed every time one of us die, we cannot afford to pay for it. You know, when somebody passes away, most of the time we ask for donations, cash apps, GoFundMe's, and I'm just thinking like, why do we have to keep doing that shit? You get what I'm saying? Like, and then when you pay attention to some of the younger men who die, especially if they was like, flashy or had every pair of name brand sneakers, where they wore designer clothes, possibly had like all the gold chains and shit like that. You start to wonder, like, what the fuck is we doing? What the fuck are we doing? And it's just terrible that we don't really prepare for shit like that. We just let life happen, and then when it finally happened, everybody's scrambling to get it figured out. Man, that's just such a burden because once you pass away and your family ain't got no money or they don't have nothing to hold them over till they could at least flip the money you have left, if you have any, they're worried about how they gonna pay all them damn bills on top of making sure you get buried. You got the casket, you got the obituaries, you got to deal with people who barely even visited, barely even visited or reached out to the person who passed away, coming in to the funeral or in town or whatever, just being extra dramatic. It's like a lot of that can cause a lot of stress to the people that are mourning the death of a loved one. And one of the ways to ease that burden is if when it happens, the money is there to make sure everything is covered with no hassle, no handouts, no, I wouldn't call it begging, but it's like, it's kind of embarrassing, especially if, you was a person that was kind of known for having money, or, the image you portrayed looked like you had money, and, looked like you had it going on and all that when you probably didn't, which most of us don't, in the black community, we like to fake like we got it, at least until we really get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really judge, black men and black women for this type of stuff, because at the end of the day, who was going to teach us how important life insurance was? Like, when you realize you can get a decent sized life insurance policy for about 20, $30 a month, sometimes even cheaper, you know, and you probably spend that on DoorDash. So I want to bring up this video and go over it, because this guy, he was saying some real shit, like, and it was just making a lot of sense. Our priorities are screwed up, but it's time we just had these hard, honest conversations. And even though it's tough to really talk about your plans for when you leave this earth, we're going to have to just get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're going to have these conversations because, if you are a man, and I'm not even going, this doesn't even include women not having insurance. This is going to be for the men. If you are a man, especially a black man, you need to have life insurance. And you need to get it as soon as possible. Is something that we really need because with the way our health is, the way a lot of us eat, a lot of the activities we're involved in, or and if you're someone who's a provider or your family depends on you to live or survive, or you like the glue holding everything together, you need to make it an obligation to make sure that your loved ones are taken care of in case of your untimely demise. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that we really, really have to take serious. We really do. Especially if you have children. Now, if you a man and you don't have any children, you just have a girlfriend or something like that, you know, it might not be big of a deal, but at the same time, well, if you die before your mother or your parents in general, you need something to cover to help bury you. But if you have children, you need to make sure they get something, because that's the main reason I would say that you need to have life insurance. So not only for your burial or your services, but to be able to at least provide a good cushion for your children until whoever is taking care of them can make something else happen. But you have to make sure you set something up so your children are provided for. I said children. See, I'm all tired and shit trying to do this, but at the same time, this is something I really want to put out, because that what I plan to do with Black Men Do Build is really show and showcase that we are all not losers. We are all not deadbeat fathers. We don't all have a bunch of baby mothers around here, because we really don't. You get what I'm saying? We not. We all are not pieces of shit. But a lot of us just don't know what we don't know. And one thing as a black man, I don't want to hold things over people's head just for them not knowing, because if it was nobody there to educate you on these things or to teach you how to do it, you can't just say, "Oh, you do all this," and you down talking them and you trying to make them feel bad. Just educate them. Hey, you got all these designer shoes. You got life insurance, bro? Nah, man, I need to get it. Yeah, you need to get it. You going out here with club hopping and shit. You get what I'm saying? You know, you drive for work or just anything. You need to make sure you good, because it don't make sense to have fancy things and materialistic shit, and then when it's time for you to take that last ride, everybody is looking for help, scrambling. It's just not fair to your loved ones. And I just got life insurance a couple of years ago. you know, in my 20s. I'll be 30 this year, but I was about 27? Yeah, about 27 when I decided to get life insurance, for my family. And I realized that day, like, wow, I'm really becoming an adult. Like, I'm really becoming a man. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I took pride in that shit because neither one of my family members had insurance at all. I took pride in that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I was happy as hell. I was like, yeah, I'm setting up insurance. I just felt like a real man and protector and provider by doing that. Just that simple thing. Man, it might not mean a lot to some people, but to me, it was just everything. I was like, yo, if something happened to me, my kid's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I would have wished my parents would have had something set up so I could have benefited from. You get what I'm saying? Like, not that you would want them to pass away, but like when you're a parent, you have children, and you bring them into this world. You are responsible for them, not just until they're 18, but for a long time, a lot longer than that. Now, I'm not saying when they get 35, 40, you still have to pay their bills, but if you don't set your children up to thrive or to be successful, you can't complain about them still struggling or needing assistance, even if they are mid 30s or 40s or whatever. You can't really complain about that unless you did your job. You get what I'm saying? So as far as doing your job as a man, I'm talking to the brothers. I'm not even gonna focus on women because at the end of the day, we can't blame women for what the fuck we got going on. We gotta tighten shit up. So as a man, you have to make sure you have things in place for your children to thrive, no matter what. You know, if you look at my previous video, I mentioned why all black fathers should set up a custodial account for their children. And you can set it up for them to have, wealth for, college or whatever if they want to do that. Buying their first home, car, or just ultimately a head start at life. Or the freedom to have options to pick and choose what road they want to go down versus feeling like they're forced to do something because it's out of survival. It's because they have to, not because it's something they truly want to do or interested in. See, as black men, we have to start making it so that our kids have options when they grow up. Like, Dad, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. The money's there. Go do it. Go do it. We've been investing and saving for you since you was a child. This is your money. Go do what you want with it. And you teach them on the way up how to manage the money and how to continue to invest the money and to grow the money. This is the shit we need to be on as black fathers, because the only way we're going to break these generational curses is if we give them the right game and the right tools and the right knowledge to be prosperous. If we're not teaching these children, how to be self-sufficient or just how to be better than what we're failures. I don't give a damn what you feel like you are. If your kids is not able to, if they not able to thrive as adults, if they not able to at least make something happen on your behalf, you failed. Point blank. A lot of our parents failed. And like I said, I'm gonna mention my video previous. A lot of us are here from a good fuck. We're not here because we were planned. Nobody planned for us to be here. People were just fucking and having fun. They didn't think about setting up no accounts for us to have money when we got older. They didn't set up nothing for us to have a property or nothing when we turned 25 or whatever like that. And now I can't blame them 100% because they didn't know. Their parents didn't do this shit for them. But I want us to really start having these conversations. Like, we really shouldn't keep having sex and having children out of selfishness. We're just having kids with no plans, just pushing them out with no care in the world, and then trying to scramble to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do and how we're gonna take care of them. That's just unfair. These babies are innocent, and they make us frustrated. Sometimes we yell at them, we spank them. Sometimes after you get done getting upset, you look at them and just how innocent they look, and they just don't know no better. They just kids. They just children. And then you have this thought in the back of your head like, they don't owe me shit. I owe them everything. I owe them babies everything. This year, from now on, we gotta cut the selfish shit out. Once you have a child, once you bring a child into this world, your life is no longer just yours. You know what I'm saying? We have to make it to where our children and the women that we're with, they trust us. They can count on us. They can depend on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really have to put forth more effort into that. Because this is not about being cool and looking cool. This is about actually doing what the fuck you gotta do, taking care of business. And I want to shout myself out. I just opened up an account at a black bank. I feel super excited about that. I'm about to get a card with a black fist on that joint. I was happy as hell I seen that. Like, yeah, that's cool, man. Because at the end of the day, we all we got. We're way too selfish and separate. There's no way in hell, with all the buying power we have as black people, that we is not really holding shit down, being tight knit with our money together. There's no reason that we're not holding shit down and building together. There's really no reason, other than we want to one up each other. That happens a lot in our community. Somebody becomes successful, they get a little bit more money, they want to look down on other black people. And I'm not even like a pro black person, like on some shit like, this and that. I'm just like, I see where the community is, and I'm not going to ignore it. Like black men, we got to start looking out for each other, you know, without downing one another because we don't know something, because what we don't have, or that nigga broke, or that, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of us come from broken homes. And even with me having my father, my home was still broken because, you know why? I didn't have a mother in the home. If you want to be technical, I would consider my mother a deadbeat. Yeah, but they ain't gonna talk about the deadbeat mothers in the communities. Only the fathers. But there's some deadbeat ass mothers out here too. Don't get it twisted. Even if the kids live with them, they do not protect them. They let shit happen to them. You get what I'm saying? Like, so don't get it twisted. Like the men is just a horrible part of the community. Both parties play a huge part, but that's neither here nor there. But as far as black men coming together and finally working together to build, I believe if we really just do a blackout, we do a blackout for about, let's even try 30 days. I mean, you get your freezer stocked, and I mean, if you employee or whatever like that, most of us have jobs, so if you got to get gas, you got to get gas. But other than that, we should not spend no money. Let's try it for 30 days. And the money that we was gonna spend on stuff that we didn't need, we should invest that shit into growing what we need to grow. We need land, we need properties, we need infrastructure, we need places to send our kids to learn trades. We need places to send our kids to keep their ass off the streets. And we got the money. Don't get it fucking twisted. We got the money. I mean, every black city or every city, if all the black men put in $1,000, we lit. We lit the fuck up. With everybody put in a band, millions of dollars will be right there, ready for us to go do whatever the fuck we want and what we need. Shit, hell, $100. Yeah, we got a couple 100,000 black men coming together in each city. You know what I'm saying? Let's say because we know everybody mindset is different. Everybody don't really have vision like that to really see how far we can take things. Because if you haven't seen it or have been around that type of environment, you probably won't believe it. So when people talk about, yeah, we could buy this, we could do this together, we could have millions of dollars if we all work together. Some people just like, nah, I'm good. Until the ones that do see the vision, they start doing it and the revenue start coming in and lives are starting to change. Then they be like, oh, okay, I guess Buddy and them wasn't bullshitting. Buddy and them wasn't bullshitting. Look at them putting on now. But it's the truth. So black men do build. This is what I plan on doing. I'm actually about to be finishing up my first book this week. Give me a round of applause. I had to give myself that. With the help of my lovely wife, she helped me do it. She's very good at graphic design and she know how to work that damn Campbell, man. But yeah, first book. Then I'll be first book gonna be talking about what I've was previously talking about was the custodial account for the children. You know, and this is the thing. You get a child Schwab account. They have this thing called stock slices where you could buy pieces of stock starting with $5. $5. Your child can own a piece of a company from the time they're born. Or like me, like my children, I started my kids at what? Started my daughter at she 11. My little girl, my youngest daughter, she is 4. She'll be 5. And my son is 3. So just imagine, right? You set up these accounts for your children. If you got one kid, oh my gosh, your kid should be lit by the time they get 25, 30 years old. So I got 3 kids, so I got to spread my little money out a little different. But at the same time, even if I do $25 a week per kid, you get what I'm saying? And let's say we let it stay in there for about 20, 30 years, Let's just see. I want to do the math on that. Say, and it's like, it doesn't even have to be a huge amount, but let's just say, let me see. Okay, that's 1,300 a year. Okay, so that could be around with that'd be about $50,000. You know, probably even more depending on how the market do. That'd be about 50 grand. Actually, it'd be 30 grand, but with appreciation and the value of the stocks going up, around $50,000 just with $25. Now, if you start putting 50 in, 100, a couple hundred, then you in the money. But as far as a grown man, definitely you're gonna increase your income. So that's just starting off with something simple. You screw up $25 on bullshit. So you set that aside for your children or your child. Just imagine, and this is a little bit of money, like, you know, that's a significant amount if it was something that you was able to get when you turn 25 or 30. Like, most of us did not receive shit. So imagine if your child has a chance to get at least 50 grand from you putting away $25 a week for them. Will that be something to start something with? On top of you teaching them how to invest, on top of you teaching them how to build their credit. Oh yeah, add your baby to your credit card. I added my daughter to my credit card. I'm gonna let her go school shopping with it, and I'm gonna pay it off. So she get her lit. You know what I'm saying? So by the time she is 18, 19, 21, get her up in the 700s, 800s off the rip. She'd be able to go get loans. We got this thing right now, Airbnb, Toro. You get the credit and go put your crib on there and make passive income. I live in New York, so they act funny with all this stuff, so I'm trying to figure that out. But, you know, there's going to be so many opportunities with that money. That's definitely good seed money to start off. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If I turn 25 and I have 50 racks waiting on me, come on, man. But not just waiting on me without knowing the knowledge. If somebody leave you that type of money or whatever, and you don't have the knowledge to to invest it the right way, you're gonna screw it up anyway. But why you investing $25 a week for your children and you giving them the game? You're gonna have them read Rich Dad Poor Dad. You're gonna get them in that mindset of doing for self as well as learning how to fire their job. Cause that's what a lot of us have to do. Like, there's nothing wrong with working a job. Hell no. I mean, you gotta pay your bills. That's what they train us to do in school. So what kills me with a lot of entrepreneurs is when they get on, they start downing people who work jobs. Like, you working 9 to 5, and I don't want nobody that working 9 to 5, or you 9 to 5 and niggas is broke and all this other shit. Like, you doing what the system telling you to do. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So that's one thing I could say. I try to refrain from talking shit to people, especially black people, about them doing certain things because they just don't have the information. Sometimes you scratch your head like, why is you doing that? But if they don't know the information, you encourage them, you correct them, be like, hey, bro, you could do this. You don't got to do that, right? And then the ones who want to change, they will, and the ones who ain't trying to hear that shit, hey, that's them. But don't say they can't say you at least didn't try. Well, yeah, so I'm very serious when I speak about that. Set up something for your kids, man. We gotta stop being so fucking selfish. We didn't plan these kids, and we know damn well we didn't. We was having sex. It was good. We shot that damn club up. You hit that shit with that pew pew. We shot that motherfucker up with it. Sometime from the back you get the Draco going. Get that Draco on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a little wham wham. Now you got a little wham wham in this motherfucker. So it's just like, it's serious. Like, we gotta really take care of these kids, man, to stop bullshitting. Like I just imagine, like, just put yourself in your kid's shoes. Like, just think about it. How enthusiastic you would be if you was a child and they told you, like, this is all you got to do when you get older. It's gonna be money put up for you that so you can start your life with. But I need you to stay in school, get your grades. You ain't got to be an A+ student and all that shit. Make sure you could pass. Cause school is bullshit anyway. But I'm not even gonna get into that right now. But make sure you can get your little credentials and all that. Stay out of trouble. Don't have any kids as a teenager. You know, take care of yourself, exercise, eat healthy. You know, if you do that, when you get my age, you straight. Do we have a deal? And you keep putting that in their mind. Like, if you don't fuck up your life and just be out here bullshitting for attention and all that, and trying to get peer pressured and being a dummy, and let somebody allow you to crash out, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be good. If we could do that for a lot of these children, man, we'll see a whole lot of change. When you fucked up, you growing up broke, ain't got shit really, you got the bare minimum, and then whoever it is, your mother, whatever, she got a whole bunch of other kids she got to provide for, and you can't get the best of the best or something even decent because everything got to get spread out. If you know how that feeling is when you got to get a job, and when you get a job, they ask you to pay bills, when them motherfuckers is the one who brought you in the world. Oh man, I wish I would. You gotta be a listen, and now trust me. Like I said, you don't know what you don't know. So I try not to. I try to refrain from being disrespectful and you know talking a whole lot of shit. But if I if my daughter, right, my daughter, she could be able to get a job in what 5 years. If in 5 years I was like, hey, you gonna have to put in on this rent, or you gonna have to help pay this urgent. You know how much of a fucking loser I would feel like if I had to ask my daughter to help pay bills. you know, it's just that's just how would you feel. And I understand, like, when you grow up in poverty and the woman is doing it all by herself, and then she have a child, and he or she owed them to work, it's kind of like, shit, help mom out, man. We both could, I get it. I get that part. But at the same time, my conscience wouldn't allow me to be like, I need my daughter to put in on nothing, because like she's here because of me. you know, I'm responsible for this kid. What I would do is keep investing her money. I would tell my daughter, listen, you can stay in my house as long as you want. But whatever you do, you're gonna start your business, you're gonna invest the money. If you do get you a part-time job, whatever, you have to you could spend 20 to 30% on whatever you want. But 80% of your money is going into that investment account. Anything else you need, I take care of your necessities. If you want to spend 20, 30% on, your little leisure or whatever like that, fine. But 80%, at least 80, I'd say 75, 80% of that money that you make from your job or whatever you got going on while you in my house is going into that investment. So your future is secure. You're going to be good without pops. You get what I'm saying? Because I owe that to you, baby. That's what I'm telling. I owe that. I owe you. You don't owe me. Thank you for motivating me to become a better man. When you first was born, I was on a damn RTS bus. I said, no, I got a baby on the way. I was on a public bus. I was like, no, I got a baby on the way. I gotta make sure I got a vehicle so my baby don't have to ride on a bus with a bunch of people and germs and stuff like that. I want to say thank you. So this is for you. You know how good that's gonna feel? Tell my child that. Like, I love you, and I really appreciate you, and I thank you so much. I thank you so much for making me become a better man and really started to take my life serious. Even as a teen, I was a teen father. I had my daughter at 18 years old. And I didn't want to be no loser. I didn't want to let her down. I don't want her looking at her dad like he ain't shit. Even with us struggling, I know and I always knew that I was gonna have something for her. Something. These people was having these kids and don't have them and don't give them shit. Fuck buying them all them fucking Jordans and shit like that. Motherfucker is 2 days old. You got him a whole Jordan Deluxe outfit on. Oh, my baby need these. No, the fuck they don't. Buy him some Nike stock. And like I said, I'm not gonna, be disrespectful because I know you don't know what you don't know. But that's just how I feel. Fuck looking like we got money. Let's get money and keep it. Let's get money, keep it, and invest it. You know, it's been getting so much, and this is the thing about it, I'm far from rich or wealthy yet. I'm going to be for sure because I'm putting the right plays down. I've learned what steps I need to take. You get what I'm saying? But it's from me coming from poverty and me wanting more. And sometimes you just have to have that burning desire to try to figure this shit out. No matter how much you fail, how much money you lose, you have to have a burning desire to want to do better as a man. You have to have that. A lot of us don't have it, but a lot of us don't have no good examples, or we just don't have the confidence to believe that we can be better men. But I tell you this, as a father, and you look at that child, you look at them children, and you see how innocent they is, and and this is the thing: your kids don't know how much money you make, you know. But if they fed and they clothed and they warm and they clean, that's all that mattered to them. They love you to death. This is nothing like when my children, when I come home and they run to me and just they try damn near knock me on the goddamn ground. Daddy, daddy, I miss you, dad. They fighting over me. I got two. I got 3 and a 4-year-old. They knocked me on the damn ground, damn near trying to hug me and stuff like that. They love me regardless. You don't, and this is what, I'm gonna go into the life insurance stuff in a minute, but it's just how could you not want to give it your all for these children that love you no matter what you got, no matter what you do, no matter when you yell at them, when you spank them, they will bring their ass back right in your face and love you. Them kids will love you when nobody else won't. Most people they'll love you because the things you can do for them. They love you because you entertaining. You just cool to be around for a moment. Or people dislike you for no reason. Don't even really know you. I just don't like them. I've been told that before. So when I have my children and my children just love me so much, I gotta make sure they got some shit for them. I gotta make sure I got them set up. I have to because they didn't ask to be here and they love me unconditionally. They love me regardless. They don't I'm their dad. I'm their father. They don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit. They don't care if they dad don't got the latest kicks or drive the latest car. My dad done been had a car since I was born, and we always ride now. That's what they see. I ain't never went hungry. You get what I'm saying? So please, go hard for your children, fellas. Go hard as a motherfucker, man. They're going to love you no matter what. And you owe them the world. You owe them. They don't owe you shit. Motherfuckers better stop having these children and then expecting them to take care of you. You take care of them. You provide for them. If they want to reach back out and be like, hey, Dad, I came up here, Dad, whatever, I will appreciate it, but I'm not ever going to depend on it. No, hell no. I owe you. Thank you. Because you saved my life. All right, so I'm done with that rant. But yeah, I want to get into this video. So I'm going to pull it up right now. Let's see what we got here. And this guy is going to be talking about the life insurance, and this is very important. And this is a good little 16-minute video. So we're gonna go over that, and then I'm gonna end the show. And I'm gonna be chopping it up with y'all through the video. So just give me a few moments. I'm gonna hit play, lower the volume a little bit. Okay, let's go.
What's going on, bro?
What's good, man?
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Can't complain, my brother.
Glad to have you here, man. You know,
Yes,
you're somebody
sir.
who I've known my whole life, bro.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Years, man, since we was kids, man.
Yeah,
Liberty City Warriors.
All day. All day. Talk to the people, man. Let them know your name and let them know where you're from. A little bit of background on you.
Well, I'm Andre Smith. I was born and raised in Miami-Dade County. I come from the hardest of the hardest, man. I grew up in DPG, Scotts Projects, from, in the early 80s and 90s. And then they shut that all down, kicked everybody all out. And now my mom moved us to Beaver Creek family, that's where I pretty much known right there.
Mm-hmm.
Nickname Money in the Streets. Was a different beast then, man. Grew up fighting all our life. You know what I'm saying? But keep everything in a nutshell, man. Came up in the streets, found the way out, which most of the time for us as Black people, it's entertainment, so I did what I had to do, and now I'm here telling my story.
Okay. So you say that a lot of times, we only have 2 or 3 avenues. We have sports, entertainment. Down here for us, it's football and rapping and or the military, ways out or whatnot.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people join because things are not going as well as they should on their end.
Yeah, true.
So, we can talk about that a little bit later on. But we played Optimus football together.
Yes, sir.
You're a hell of a running back.
You already know.
You're a hell of a running back out
yes,
there.
Sir. I grew up on Moore Park. I ran for Northwest Express. I was actually one of the fastest in my age group, coming out of the city. Real talk, this. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? I still actually got trophies at Liberty City. That's where we grew up at. You know what I'm saying? And back then things was different. You know what I'm saying? We live in a society now where people got their own agendas. You know what I'm saying? And now we coming into the age of Aquarius where it's knowledge, and now we got internet, and we got all these things now, and everybody is on this attention thing. It's all about attention.
Yeah, I definitely want to touch on that right quick. So, yeah, attention. That's like the new most potent drug that they have out right now. Everybody's doing some bullshit to get noticed. And I mean, it comes from TikTok to YouTube to Facebook to Instagram. Excuse me. A lot of people is really going too hard for attention. And the thing about it is, attention, you know what? It's just a lot of us didn't get the attention we felt we deserved when we was coming up as kids. It's either we get enough attention, enough love, enough affection. A lot of us just want to be seen, and we want people to like us, but we doing it the wrong way. It's like you want complete strangers just to give a fuck about you, and and it's like you willing to do anything for that, for their attention, and it's sad. You know, you don't have to do all that. You know, to where people is doing all these weird challenges and damn near killing themselves. Some people have killed themselves. I remember that whole damn crate challenge. People broke their bones and just it's like, yo, I get it, but it's like everybody's searching for that viral moment, man. And it's just not good. And it's causing no more problems than actually helping. So you definitely got a point, man. The attention thing is just I think because they see sometimes when people get attention, they get money. And, everybody itching for that first big check. But at what cost, I feel like if you just do what you gotta do and just learn new skills and just be yourself and take risk, calculated risk, you'd be all right. I really believe in that. If you just do something different, but you don't have to jeopardize your freedom, your life, or your character or your morals for it. So yeah, Brody definitely has a point.
You know what I'm saying? But let me back up a little bit. Growing up in Scots, as a black family, they say it take a village to raise a family. We all looked after each other. You know what I'm saying? No matter how bad it was, even though we grew up in the hoods and things like that, we looked after each other. Now we're living in an age where it's like people don't respect their elders anymore, in our culture, and it's for everyone around the board. And it's sad, to say the least, you know what I mean? Because you have to be able to, you don't have to earn respect. You're supposed to respect people and then you will get it in return. Indeed. It's reciprocated. Indeed. You know what I mean? Everybody's on this whole, you got to earn this, you got to do this, or on this attention, trying to get likes and all this stuff, man. It's killing the culture. You know what I mean? We're growing into a society of neediness, man. I mean, I remember it was a time where we remembered everything, We had, our minds was powerful. Now people don't remember nothing because we got a phone in our hands. And it's just getting.
That's a whole fact. I remember you used to be able to remember people's phone numbers when they gave it to you. I can't remember nobody's phone number. And that's kind of sad on some real shit because please don't tell my wife, but I don't know her number by heart like that. I repeat, just don't tell my wife. I don't remember her number by heart, but I'm gonna try to learn it. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people, we can't even remember important people's phone numbers now because of all this technology. Technology is just convenient as hell. Like even with your phone, like you could pay for everything with your fingerprint, man. I don't know, man. It's technology has taken over, man. But yeah, I love technology. I believe that at once, because this is the thing, I'm learning how to use this stuff more, And I think it's so many things we could do on here to make it a good experience. There's so much opportunity and money on the internet. If you learn how to get in the niche, man, I believe you can take care of your whole family, man. I'm telling you, like even with YouTube, I'm seeing people getting big checks from YouTube, just shooting their shit. You know what I mean? Shit, that's what I plan on doing. But I want to put out good content, and I want people to fuck with it, man. I don't care about being famous, nothing like that. But I do want to spread the word about black men being better because a lot of us are stepping it the fuck up. I don't know where these people at. They sleeping though. A lot of us done stepped it the fuck up, man. For real. Let me get back to this though.
It's getting to the point where it's where we getting out of touch. We detaching ourselves from humanity. So
I think it's narcissism at its finest.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are some things that could be done to kind of take us back to these times to where we need to be?
First, what I would say is that we got to get back to family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's a big thing. Yes. I could tell you a little history on what I believe started it. Mm-hmm. If you could go back to the 1960s, black culture, in the black culture, we was married 85%. Mm-hmm. even through slavery, everything. We was married, like 85% rape.
Married.
And then what happened in the late 60s? They cut off all the heads. You know what I mean? All our civil organizations, Martin Luther King, Malcolm, Huey P. Newton, Black Panthers, you know, they start cutting off all the heads. They put us in the ghettos and then gave us drugs to deal with our depression. You can't put us through all of that and then we trying to come out of it, but they don't give us no treatment to do so. At all. They give us drugs and then they put guns in the community. You know what I mean? That's what create a crab in a barrel mentality in the ghettos. You know what I mean? And it ain't that we killing and we doing all this stuff, but it's about survival. It's survival. You know, I think us in the Black community as Blacks, we have a higher conscious. And when it comes to, you know, everybody, of course, everybody interrupts their own communities. You know what I mean? Wherever you live, that's where things is going to happen most, of course. You know what I mean? But when you got a group of young boys growing up in a world, in a society where it's nothing laid out for them, there's no programs, there's no nothing, you know what I mean? But a lot of us ain't grew up with fathers, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's destroying the families, of course. But Charles Jackson, you know, he was a...
There you go. There you have it. A lot of us didn't have no fathers. A lot of us didn't have nobody to give us that direction. Now, luckily, like I said before, I had my father. It wasn't the best situation ever, but it helped me tremendously having the father. Because your dad is the one that's gonna put that game down. He ain't gonna let you just be out here fucking up, man. He gonna let you know. And that's one thing that having a father, you know, it helps with that, you know what I'm saying? But you know, that's why a lot of us don't really have no direction. It was because a lot of the people that's, you know, that was supposed to be our leaders, they dead, they in prison. It's just a lot of our shit was dismantled. So a lot of us didn't even have a chance. And when I hear people keep blaming, you know, black men for, like, you can't blame these new black men for shit that what happened to their granddads and they fathers. Like, how is we still holding somebody that's in their 20s and even their 30s? I say, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't really, you know what I'm saying? We can't really judge these men. It's like some of us, we do snap out of it and we do figure it out, but it takes time because you don't have those examples in front of you to show you the way, you know. And it was just so crazy. I was on a call with somebody and they was saying, you know, how other races of men just automatically know what to do, and that's just bullshit. No, the fuck they don't. They have examples of what to be. They have to have somebody to show them the way. If we don't have anyone to show us the way, we're gonna be all over the fucking place. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you don't know. And that's one of the key things with being a black man or a woman. We judge each other so harshly. Like, she just don't know no better. Now, after a certain age, you will hope, but even then, it's people in their 40s and 50s that just don't got a fucking clue. You dig? Like, they don't even know what the fuck is going on. They still on that young shit. Because it's all they know. And you try to encourage them. You try to bring them to a different environment. You try to just show, like, hey, man, you ain't got to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, sometimes they just ain't hearing it. So, you know, he's definitely right. Like, we just ain't have no father. We don't have a family structure. We need both our parents in the home working together to make sure we have the best chance possible. All this having babies and shit with people we barely know and throwing extravagant ass baby showers and gender reveals, but no family structure for the child to be brought up in a loving 2-parent home. That's what's fucking it up. It's like, and this thing, I ain't gonna lie, I was one of the people who was definitely not fucking with marriage at all. I just like I don't because my parents wasn't married. You get what I'm saying? I didn't see nobody who was married, and none of my family really. But I did it, and I'm happy about it because there's nothing like having a family. Like you having your wife, you having your children, and everybody's together, and we just going through life together. It's like you would be a fool to think that you can do all this shit alone. Like all these people that want to be super independent, I don't need no woman, I don't need no man. Like you out of your fucking mind. You just fucking delusional. You just saying that because you probably can't even get either one. You can't. You is the or the people that you want don't want your ass. So you just kind of just saying, oh, everybody ain't shit because they ain't fucking with you. We all need somebody. I'm a shit, man. All this, I don't need one, but I want one, but I don't need one. Like, come on, man. That's bullshit. You do. This shit is hard, man. With trying to figure this life shit out by yourself. Ask somebody who could honestly tell you, like, that's doing it by themselves. Like, that shit ain't no joke. You watched your mothers struggle by themselves. You watched it. You watched them trying to date and they just couldn't find a decent man to stick around. Y'all done seen this shit before. This shit ain't no joke. You need solid families, man. We need to bring that back or else we doomed. We fucking doomed. If we can't get together and stay together as a family, we keep having kids over here, kids over there, kids over there, and it's all fucked up and not structured properly. We're doomed. We done.
Leader in a lot of young boys' life coming out of Liberty City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had a program called the Making of a Champion Youth Program, and his goal was to take in fatherless young men and women and put them in this program so he could keep them so everyone can build a family. It's like having a group, per se, because we didn't have yet centers and boys and girls clubs that we can go to and that we can be in. So he created this for us. You know what I mean? I'm extremely thankful for that because that's what kept us off the street. We did taekwondo during that season. We boxed during that. We boxed during boxing season. We played football during football season. We played baseball during baseball season. We kept busy. And also we ran track. You know what I mean? And a lot of talent comes out of the hood, per se, wherever you want to say, you know what I mean? But, we talented. I feel like what limit a lot of the ability to move forward in the hoods is lack of opportunity, you know what I mean? Because they feel like they stuck, you know what I mean? But I believe in this day and age, like I said, we're in the age of Aquarius and we coming out of this, you know what I mean? Because we're in the age of knowledge. You can literally pull up your phone and you can Google whatever you want to Google. So you can't really control people's minds as much no more. And I think what's going on is that it's a fight of power. You know what I mean? It's a fight of power going on right now, you know what I'm saying, against the young people and the elders and everybody. And nobody know where they fit in anymore because the dynamics and the structure has been so destroyed, so pushed, you know what I'm saying? Like to push aside, the from the respect factor to understand where you're supposed to go, like how you're supposed to live your life per se. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is just people is detached from humanity, and that's what's going on today, man. Gotcha. It's crazy.
Gotcha.
That's a whole fucking fact. That's a whole fact. I mean, these young people is so disrespectful to older people nowadays. I remember you used to like when you seen an older person come out, you stop cussing. You get what I'm saying? You would, if you was smoking your blunt and all that, you would put it down. Like if the older person gave you some game, man, you listen and you didn't disrespect them. They be telling them, they be telling the OGs to shut the fuck up. It's like, yo, it's crazy. Like I can't even like I just don't even understand it. Like these generation of kids, I mean, it's bad, man. I mean, these kids is 14, 15, 16 years old, tearing shit up. I mean, they carjacking people, man. Now, don't get me wrong. That's been since the beginning of time, young teenagers did some wild shit. But I don't know, man. Nowadays, because there's no structure and nobody to hold them accountable. Like, if you caught stealing the car and you had your dad in the house, he was gonna beat your ass for 3 days. You wasn't gonna touch nobody else's stuff ever again after that. But they don't got nobody to hold them accountable or discipline them. So it's just they don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care and they don't really even see the issues with anything they doing. Like, they just gonna go ahead and just crash out, man, acting crazy. So, man, he's absolutely right. Like, it's nobody to teach these young men, and they just don't care about the older people. They like, oh well, sad.
So, which leads us to the point right now. I interview everyone who's been through trauma. And those who are businessmen and businesswomen and influential, important people in the Black community or whatnot. And you yourself, you are one of those brothers. So talk about what you're doing right now.
Like I said, you already know where I came from. I joined the military when I was 18 years old. That was my scapegoat. Even though I had the talent to go and do other things, by me not having the father, I believe I didn't have the correct guidance, but even saying that didn't hold me back from wherever I pursued in the future. I don't let that hold me back, for lack of better words. But what I currently do now is I am currently an insurance broker for the Florida State Department. And what I do is that I try to get back into financial education. You know what I mean? Because that in the future, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? Living in a capitalist society, that's what matters the most, especially being in America. So by saying that, I say this: we have to understand how money works, right? And the first thing I believe that we struggle with in the Black community is financial protection, life protection. I believe a lot of things go on in our communities because cops know 9 out of 10, most young Black men and women don't have any life insurance. They just don't have it. So even if somebody get taken out, or if one of our own take us out, we don't have life insurance. So now we got to see our family struggle. We got to see all the same thing. It's like a repeating effect. You know what I mean? And the first thing, if you look up a financial pyramid, the foundation of a financial pyramid is life protection. You have to protect the one thing that's most important to you, which is you. You have to protect that first. So if anything happens to you, your family is taken care of. You know what I mean? And I think we tend to forget that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then you think of.
I don't think we tend to forget that. We just don't. You know what we do forget? We just don't think about it. We don't really take it that serious. Like, we get insurance on our car. If we got a job, we get insurance with our job. But nobody really is like, yo, get life insurance. Nobody, and more people are getting it now. But it's probably more women than Black men. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of a lot of people just don't really consider, don't even be thinking about it. Like, it's never been like a thing, like, but it's like, yeah, it's important. And like I said, that was a big thing for me. I felt like I was a man. I don't care nobody say. When I got that life insurance for my family, I was like, yeah. I felt like the man. Because I thought about somebody, I put somebody else before myself. I didn't, I was like, I can't be selfish. I gotta make sure, like, if anything, we good. They good. But yeah, it's like, a lot of us don't forget. We just don't really, I don't know if we don't care, but it's like, it don't really be brought up in conversations. It is what it is. It's like, so, what I'm saying? They figured out. The family eventually figured out, but that's just too much of a burden, man. You gotta deal with your loved one not being here again, but then having to scramble to pay for the stuff in like a week's time, like a week or two time. Nah, nobody want to go through that.
About savings, and you think about growth and investments, and then you think about risk that you're taking if you want to grow your money. But the first thing is financial protection, and we can't forget that. And I say that to say this: don't you think in the Black community that if let's say, for instance, if they knew, whoever, cops, everything we're going through, if they knew that we cared about our lives, if we had protection for our lives, what do you think they would do? They would start thinking twice about killing one of our young brothers and sisters, because they're going to know for a fact that somebody has to pay that debt to that family. You see what I mean? But if we forget that, then what's going to happen? They don't care. So we have to change.
Can I interject for a minute?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, right. Let's say if the average Black youth in America had an insurance policy upwards of $500,000, the insurance companies would instruct the police department to stop killing Black people, because then they don't want to be paying out X amount of money.
Exactly.
Go ahead,
exactly. Bro. And that's going to change the narrative, because now we letting them know that we care about our lives. And that's what's most important. You know what I mean? We got young, like, I'm going to tell you this. In January, I had 14 friends under the age of 37 years old die, right? 14 in the month of January.
That's a lot.
It's crazy. And you wouldn't even fathom to even think how many you believe, how many you would think to even have insurance. How many you think had insurance? Zero people, zero of them had insurance between the age, and they was all 37 and under. And these are people that I'm close with. Now I got to see their families go through the things that they're going through, because it costs to bury. You know what I mean? If not, you got to give your body to the state. You know what I mean? And we don't have to go through that, because it don't cost much. You know what I mean? We are the biggest consumers. The Black Americans are the biggest consumers. We buy, we do we keep the wheels running. And they
so this is the thing. That's what I was just saying. I said, if we do a 30-day blackout, just 30 days, like I said, the day or two before, get your groceries, get everything you needed. Just, make sure your bills, whatever, paid. I'm not talking about your necessities. I'm talking about the extra shit that we really don't need, but we tend to spend our money on. If we do that for 30 days, we could really make a lot of change, man. We could make a lot of change. Like, if Black people stop spending money so carelessly, we could get everything we want out of this country, because they will realize, like, all right, they that's the real power, is the pockets. It ain't none of this you marching because somebody got shot shit. That money. If Black people get tight with that money, you ball up that fist with that $20 bill, that wrinkled ass $20 bill, you just hold on to that shit. We're gonna get some changes that we really need in this country. But we gotta get all get on one accord, man. Like, we gotta do blackouts, man. We gotta start holding our money. We got to.
And they know this, but we have to put forefront what is most important, and we have to take care of that first, because all the flashy, all that stuff is going to come. It's in us. It's in our genetics. It's in our DNA. You know what I mean? But we have to take care of our lives first. That has to be numero uno, because when someone passes away, man, instead of it being a burden, because it's automatically gonna be something that the family have to deal with. But you don't want to put that heartache on your family. You know what I mean? What is gonna ease the burden? If you have something in place that's gonna make sure that the family is good, you know what I mean? And they're gonna be able to take care of themselves, because when you die, your debt and your bills don't die. It goes to whoever's next in line. And that's how it comes back, and it bites you in the butt after that. But this is a way that we could prevent this. We can get around this.
My great grandmother Esther Jones said that you only want to cry once when somebody dies. You don't want to cry because you can't bury them or whatnot.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
So I really think that you are very necessary in our community, bro. And I think that many people who's watching this video, this is gonna get around to some people, and it's gonna strike where it needs to strike at, bro.
Yes, sir. And don't let it get to the point where someone has to, leave. You got to ask these hard questions. We all know mentally, we all know that none of us is promised to live here. We all gonna have that time. Take the time and have those hard conversations in the family and get past it. You protect it, then you don't have to worry about it. You put it aside. And now you don't have to worry about it no more because you got that taken care of, right? Now you can live. But take care of these things first. You know what I mean? Because this is what's destroying our communities. You know what I mean? It's the financial competency, you know what I mean, that we don't have in our communities. But I mean, things are gonna change because we got people out here who's gonna do the work. I'm actually out here I'm in the cities where people don't want to go, and I'm knocking on doors. And that's what I'm doing. I feel like that's what I need to do.
And I ain't gonna lie to you, he kind of got me motivated to go start selling insurance on some real shit, because if you could sit down and have a conversation with somebody that looks like you, that's from the same environment as you, and you let them know, like, listen, we really need this. I know you got plenty people in your family that passed away, and y'all had to scramble and had to sell dinners. Y'all had to do GoFundMe's. Y'all had to get cash apps just to put them in the ground. So imagine if we covered everybody for about $20, $30 a month, and everybody good. You ain't got to worry about that. It got me thinking, but it's not even just on some shit like where believe it's like a money grab thing. It's kind of like, well, that's something that people in our community really need. I think I'm gonna look into that myself. I know a couple people that need it, but it's serious though. Like when you break it down to them and like, hey, listen, we need this, especially if it's by their house laid out. They got 5 flat screen TVs and the kids got the PS5. Yeah, you can get some insurance. But yeah, that's so true, man.
You know what I mean? To make it happen. But somebody has to be the one to step in and to make it happen. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be the one that's going to do that, So I task myself and I charge myself to do that, So take it upon yourself and just make the action. Just make the action. Make the action. It's quick. Talk to the family and get it done. It's that simple.
My word felt like when the pastor prays. Watch where I step like walking. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm about to leave a comment. Yes, sir. See, yeah, we need that insurance. So, yeah, we need that insurance. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about tonight and or this morning. It's 4:30 in the morning. I was working on my book, all night and dealing with my kids, but then I just wanted to hop on and talk about this because this is a real serious subject, and this is the type of stuff I'm interested in and I want to talk about. What can we do to move forward from where we at? A lot of us are doing a lot better. The video I watched before was about upper class black people, man, doing a thing. It got me so motivated. I mean, I want to start a hair care line, all this shit. But yeah, definitely do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really have to take that serious and get us some coverage. But, you know, I had a good time making this video. You know what I'm saying? I had a real good time, and looking forward to making more content about what we can do to make each other better as black men. And that's my ultimate, you know, that's my ultimate vision. I really want is to make us better, because once we get our shit together, the women are going to be on one accord. We have to give them good examples. There's no way around it. We can't keep saying, oh, women this and women that. It's like, you can't blame no woman. They don't have the capacity we have. Now, they could be smart, you know, but we have it. We had the capacity to handle a lot more than they can when it comes to stress. We can get shit done under the most hostile situations. We can get shit done. So that's what I plan to do. It's for the family, man. Break generational curses. I want everybody to go get life insurance. Open up that custodial account for your babies, man. And I'm gone. Like, comment, subscribe. Donate to the Cash App. You see it right there. Come across this video, like, comment, subscribe. And I'm gone. And I'm gone. And I'm gone. Till next time, Mr. Davis, signing out.